Hey everybody, Steve here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a security-wise video to help you be a little bit more savvy while you're out and about with your laptop and your smartphones and that sort of thing. The catalyst of this video was I just got a new client, and the client's website got hacked, and the reason why it got hacked is because they logged in from an open Wi-Fi at a Starbucks, and somebody was using a sniffer to lift their credentials on a non-SSL website. And I'll get into what all that means, but let me show you how it was done. This little guy right here looks just like a router, and what it can do is not only act as a rogue wireless access point, but it can also spoof real existing access points. And as you can see, it's about the size of a router, but this is the big one. The small one is about a quarter the size and could feasibly fit easily within somebody's pants pocket, maybe even a shirt breast pocket, but certainly concealable in a public space. So let's take a look at what the bad guy sees when he logs in to one of these guys. All right, so when he logs in, he gets basically a dashboard letting him know how many clients have connected. And this part right here is the spoofed wireless access points. Probably not going to get into this because I'm not going to turn it on right now, but let's go down to a different tab here. So we'll be referring to this as the attacker's computer, and as you can see, the attacker has the ability to name that wireless access point anything that he or she pleases. Obviously, they're going to use something that's going to try to be as intriguing or as enticing as possible to get you to click on it, and of course, it's going to be an open SSID. So now let's go back over to the victim computer, and actually this is two different computers. One is in a virtual environment, and this is my regular computer right here. Obviously I wouldn't be on Google yet, but let me go down here and choose a network. All right, Starbucks One open. Well, that sounds like a good one. So let's go ahead and connect to it. And as you can see, it's connected, and I can surf the internet however I see fit. I can go to, well, I don't know, ESPN. And as you can see, it works beautifully. So now let's see. I'm going to reduce the size of the screen so that you can see the victim machine and the attacker machine. There's the victim machine in the foreground. Here's the attacker machine. Let me squeeze this window down a little bit. All right, so if we go to the module where we can watch all this stuff and enable it, start listening to it. Let me go ahead and refresh that ESPN page, and you'll see what happens. All right, as you can see, we immediately have all sorts of packets that are passing through here. And obviously this attacker could be anywhere within the building or outside in the parking lot and can see pretty much exactly what you're browsing. So, it goes way beyond that, though. It also records the cookies. So these cookies could be used to hijack sessions later on, long after the person is gone. So it's not just people being able to see what you're doing, it's what you leave behind that's important. All right, so this time I want to show you a replication of what happened to this particular person when they went to go log into their website. And I've got one of my testing websites here. As you can see, it has no SSL. And we'll just go ahead and we'll type in Steve at notagoodidea.com. And down here in the password, we'll type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if you look at the data over here, you can see where it logged the username, Steve at notagoodidea.com. And if you don't know, the %40 is just basically the computer's way of saying ampersand there. And then the password, clear as day, right there. All right, so let's see what that might look like on our phone. All right, so once again, I've instructed the application to start listening, and if we go to ESPN, click on ESPN, there it is on the phone. And there it is right there for the bad guy to see all the traffic going through. So as you can see, it works just as easy on a phone or a mobile device as it does a laptop. All right, so here's rule number 1. If you find yourself in a situation where you absolutely positively have to use an open public Wi-Fi and you have to log into something, make sure that you've got the green lock here, okay, and that it's an HTTPS website that you're logging into. Let me show you what happens when I try to log into Twitter. Steve at twitter.com and a password of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I hit log in. Obviously those aren't real credentials, but take a look at what it captured. It didn't really capture anything over here. Okay? So being conscientious of the lock is very important. But the bad guys are going to continue to try to push the envelope. Because here's this thing called SSL split, which is a way of stripping out the S in the HTTP. Now, some of the world's biggest websites like twitter.com won't have anything to do with it. It basically isn't even fazed by it. But now the next level is, say for example, this website right here is definitely aware of the fact that something weird is going on and is going to give you a warning. This example is a little bit different, but if you click on there, you can see that the connection is not secure. You can definitely see that something weird is going on here. The tools that the bad guys use get more and more sophisticated, so you need to be more and more sophisticated in defending yourself against this stuff. All right, so as you may recall in the very beginning of the video, I said that creating an access point is just one of the many things that this thing can do. Another thing that it can do is if we turn this on and we let it sit for a couple minutes, this thing will actually start to replicate the other wireless access points in the area. And what that means is that it will send out a beacon as if it were the wireless access point. So if somebody accidentally attaches to one of these spoofed access points, everything that I just showed you still applies. And as you can see, in just a matter of minutes, it's actually starting to add all of the other wireless access points in my immediate area to the pool to spoof them. All right, so coming back to the PC here and the laptop that's connected to the Starbucks One, you'll notice that if I go to a non-HTTPS website or a non-secure socket layer website, but as you can see, it doesn't matter where I click, it's recording all that information. So how do we put a stop to that? Well, you could use a VPN, which is a virtual private network. There are some free ones out there, but the better ones you pay for. And essentially what this does actually allow you to change your IP address to pretty much anywhere in the world. Let's just go ahead and select Washington, D.C. and turn it on. All right, so with my VPN on this time, get this out of the way, I can go to Baidu and surf Baidu, and you can see that the DWAL is running, but it isn't getting anything. Remember what it was doing at ESPN. We can go back to ESPN, and look, nothing. All that information that was pouring out earlier, even though it's currently running, it's not getting. So the other thing about using a VPN is it gives you a certain amount of anonymity on the internet. If I go to more information about you, so my approximate location is New York. Well, I can assure you that my approximate location is definitely not New York. Likewise, I can pick another location. Turn the VPN on from Paris. And I'm in France this time. and all the while not recording a single thing. So that about wraps it up. Just remember, if you're on an open Wi-Fi in a coffee shop, anywhere else, in an airport, hotel, you are a target. It is very, very, very easy to sniff out and steal credentials. If they can get credentials to one of your logins, there's a very, very high likelihood that they'll be able to run those credentials through a database and try to log into every bank, financial institution in the world and do more damage that way, which is essentially what a lot of them do. So be smart, stay safe, check that lock for SSL, and use a VPN if you can. I'm Steve, signing off. Until next time, see ya.